Let me go to Doris in California. Doris, you're on the air with Bob Chapman. Go ahead, please.
Hello. I thank you for your program so much.
Sure.
I was wondering, what are the legal steps we need to go through to find out who actually owns our loans? We had Countrywide, and Bank of America was supposedly, took over, but they are only a debt collector. They're like loan sharks. And so recently, trying to modify a loan, my sister said, well, if you're behind, they might consider modifying your loan. So we let it go for 2 months. And then all these shark phone calls started happening. And so I thought, well, I'm going to look in to see who owns the loan. And they had the same name on it as when we originally originated the loan. And that's the documents that they sent me. And I went to the Hall of Records, and that's all they have.
Okay, well, let me just stop you right there. Let me see. Bob, is this something that you can help her with? Because I don't have an answer for her. Do you?
I had the same question over the weekend. For someone who wrote into me, and I said, you've got to see an attorney, and you've got to find out where you stand legally. I know it's a pain, it's expensive, but if you want to find out, that's the best way to do so. And you can give them the evidence that you have already and say, where do I go from here? I mean, is this real? Does the Bank of America still really own this paper? And then the attorney knows ways to do things to find out if that, in fact, is true.
When I went to Bank of America, they showed this other financial group that original documents had. And then when I asked the people we phoned to in Arizona to make our online payment, they produced the same documentation.
Okay, but I think at this point, though, I'm sorry, Doris, but it's not something that we can really deal with you. That's going to take an attorney's advice or someone. This is not Bob's bailiwick, in other words. So I apologize for that, but I need to move on to the other callers. Thank you very much for the phone call. I do wish you the best, and let us know what happens. Go to Jeff in Arizona. Jeff, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
This is Jeff. Contractors talked to you last year or whatever.
Yeah. Welcome
anyway,
back.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you join us again. How's it gone for you?
Oh, I got through it all. It was a hassle, but I did. But I have a question for Bob Chapman. The lady that just called in, it's called a forensic audit. There's people that specialize in that, and you do a forensic audit on your mortgage, and you can find out that information.
Okay.
But anyway, wasn't Mr. Chapman? Didn't America go bankrupt after the American Revolution when we couldn't pay back the French, and we've been bankrupt ever since?
Yeah, they wrote it off, and that's when the Continental lost its value, and that was followed by federal government issuing currency as well as states. And the states didn't work out too well, so they ended up with a federal currency. And I don't know the details of that. But it's not unusual for governments to go under. Americans have, and others too, have the idea that governments don't go bankrupt. They certainly do. And hundreds of them have gone under just in modern times, never mind in ancient times.
And every 70 years under the International Banking Code, they got to reorganize if it hasn't already been redone or taken care of. And down through our history, that's every 70 years we have a catastrophe, and we're right in the middle of it right now.
We certainly are in the middle of it.
All right. Thank you very much for the phone call. I appreciate it very much. We'll be back after this 1 minute, 10-second break. And Frank in New York, you'll be up next. Thanks, Jeff. Let's go to Frank in New York. Frank, you're on the air. Guy in Arkansas. Now you're up. Go ahead, please, Guy.
Oh, good morning, Joyce.
Morning, sir. Welcome.
Good morning, Bob. About this bankruptcy and going twice into bankruptcy. According to David Wynn Miller, which if you go on the web and you type in David and W-Y-N-N Miller, offers a course in another technology of language. He's a very, very extremely knowledgeable person. According to him, we went out of bankruptcy in 1999. It was a 70-year bankruptcy, which started from 1929, and that jives with the 1999. At the date of November, when we had the elections of 1999, and then we had that. Remember the Chad gate where we had those Chads hanging, and they had to count all these all over again. Well, what according to him, what it was that the 70-year bankruptcy had ended on the date of the election, and we had to go into a 45-day probate period so that a new president was elected so that he could sign us into another 70-year bankruptcy. And that answers why we were in 45 days of not knowing who was president while they were stalling for 45 days to pass so that this legal transfer into a new bankruptcy could happen.
Interesting.
And, yeah, Bob, you might want to chase that avenue down, get a hold of Dave Wynn Miller, and then talk to him about it.
Okay,
and,
let me move on then. If that is your point to make, let me move on then. I've got other callers. We can't spend a whole lot of time on unfortunately, on the history here. Did you want to say something before we move on, Bob?
No, he's correct, generally speaking. And it's I know about it, but it's not something I specialize in.
All right, thank you very much for the phone call. Sounds like he's really knowledgeable on that. Let's go to Gil in wherever you are. Gil in Texas, thank you. Welcome to the Power Hour this morning, Gil.
Hi, Josh. This is what I posted on CNN site. They're taking comments.
Mm-hmm.
I told BP fundraiser, and I told BP to hold a fundraiser and match dollar for dollar. It would sure help their PR program. It's just wrong to make the people pay for this.
Yes.
So this is what I wrote. It's another kick in my behind to have someone use my idea and not give me a dime. I live here too, and don't see how wildlife can pay for my family and my family, pay for my family or pay my bills. I don't know what CNN is thinking. They're going to lose a lot of viewers here on the Gulf Coast. Every time there's a fundraiser, you see the stars come out and blind the people from the understanding that the help seldom goes where it is really needed. My bet is it's going to the pockets of the powerful, rich people like Larry King Ziegler. Damn them all. I'll listen to your comments. Bye-bye.
All right. Bob, any comments?
Well, I think you covered that, Joyce, earlier, and I think you're right, and I think he's right. I mean, we shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't be doing that. That's an idea that the Illuminists dreamt up to get people, again, running in the wrong direction and paying for the wrong thing that they shouldn't be paying for.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to, let's see, who's our next caller? Oh, there's no more callers on the line right now. All right. Anything, we've only got about 30 seconds. Any comments you'd like to make? Who should contact you and why?
For people who would like to get a shot at having a free subscription to the International Forecaster through Midas, Ted Anderson, and Joyce, they can call 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178. And everything that you need to know is there, and you'll never look back.
Hey, thank you so very much for joining us today. Excellent information, as usual, with Bob Chapman, the International Forecaster, intforecaster.com. Thank you, Bob, for joining us today.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Have a blessed day. We'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll be right back. 3-minute break.